Boy oh boy, today is not a good day for MMORPGs. Not at all. None. If you haven't heard, Ashes of Creations has been allegedly shut down, the creative director left, and everything exploded. So guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here and you don't know who I am, I'm just a simple gamer dude that likes to talk about video games and the gaming industry in general, and I like to give it to you straight with no bullshit whatsoever. And in today's topic is about MMORPGs, specifically Ashes of Creations. This game has been in development for 10 years, and now because of friction between the co-founder of Interpret Entertainment and the board of the directors there, a lot of developers have been let go and the project is just dead in the water. So a lot of news has touched this topic, and I want to go ahead and read what the article said, go in further detail with you guys, what happened, what's been going on. I personally haven't been that much into these Ashes of Creation because I don't usually follow with alpha or beta kind of when the game starts, unless it's a really renowned game or a renowned studio. But this is very interesting as the whole MMORPG genre where it's going. Without any further ado, this is where it all began. So from MMORPGs, Ashes of Creation Steven Sheriff resigned in protest as Interpret's board starts mass layoff at MMO studio update. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So the future of Ashes of Creation seems to be in limbo following the news earlier tonight that its creative director and studio co-founder Steven Sheriff resigned in protest over the board of directors' decision making. As a result, the future of the studio and the MMO at large is up in the air. The news comes to us from the official Ashes of Creation Discord via Clarion and our forums text with a tip. Oh, and I'm thanking him too. When Sheriff announces his resignation in protest, as he states that his board of directors was carrying out action that he could not ethically agree to. This, he states, is after the control of the company shifted away from him. So this is his message right over here. I can make a limited statement in my personal capacity and not on behalf of the company regarding the situation. Control of the company shifted away from me, and the board began directing actions that I could not ethically agree with or carry out. As a result, I chose to resign in protest rather than lend my name or authority to decisions I could not ethically support. Honestly, good on him. Good for him. That's a lot less directors or creatives do so, and I actually support this and I respect them. Following those departures, the board made the decision to issue WARN Act notices and proceed with a mass layoff. I cannot responsibly speak to further details at this time to do ongoing legal and governance matters. What I can say is that the developers and staff acted in good faith and deserve better than the uncertainty they are now facing. I am incredibly dismayed by the situation. So as it turns out, I think there's been a friction in the decision making between him and the board, and I don't think that's the fact basically, but I wonder what these unethical things that he was talking about. It could be that the board was looking into squeezing out more money out of the game, or maybe do some crunch works for the developers to try to get this game out of the gate, because as I know, the game was early access on Steam and it's been in alpha for like almost all its life, and it only recently came into early access on Steam, and they wanted to move more faster to complete the project since they were basically bleeding money. Go forward. Sheriff also states that alongside himself, much of the senior leadership team also resigned. Communication director Margaret Crone also confirmed this via a post on LinkedIn, and the others have reported multiple instances of Introvert studio employees now open to work on LinkedIn. Well, I asked her the favor of you. Okay, alright. She doesn't really expand anything on here. This all comes off the heels of a layoff earlier this month, where Sheriff confirmed only 9 employees have been affected. Now it seems the layoffs are more widespread. There is no telling exactly what is next for Ashes of Creation, whether we see the MMO shutter its early access build or simply cancel the kickstarted MMO outright, which then calls into question the promise of refunding all the backers of the MMO if it doesn't launch. So we have an update on 131.20. According to Ashes of Creation content creator Terry Forge, a WARN Act letter is being sent to the staff via first-class mail. It seems someone has sent Terry Forge a copy of the notice, and as he reads it on stream, stating that the WARN Act notice will take effect on February 2nd, 2026. The letter reportedly makes the claim that the recent payroll period cannot be met by Interpret Studios. Damn! So they can't even pay their own employees. So that's the main reason for them to just basically lay them off. The letter, as read by Theory Forge, makes it sound as though the studio is going to be closing by the end of business day on Monday. We're looking at the validity of the letter, but it sounds like an employee sent a copy to Theory Forge who had just recently resigned as a content creator from the MMO. We have reached out to the Interpret PR line, but given how our usual contacts are tied up in this, there's no telling if anyone is ever reading this inbox either way. Well, well, well. So as you guys see, that is a massive problem with the studio, and I do believe it's because Ashes of Creation took so long to be developed. So basically, what I understand here is that the company doesn't have any more money to keep paying the developers, and as we know that this game has been in early access or an alpha build for quite a long time, and has been relying on crowdfunding and Kickstarter money, and even sometimes Steven Sheriff's own personal accounts to keep the studio afloat. And now the board started doing this. I do believe that they may have started to consider a lot of microtransactions in the game, or maybe the fact that they were trying to basically just lay off everyone without even telling them. I don't know. They might have not have any confidence or trust in this project anymore, and they decided to just cut their losses off. So from my digging through this game and regarding what's been happening, I went into far to read the roadmap that they had prepared for Ashes of Creation. So it had two roadmaps in full details, basically. The Alpha 1 to Alpha 2. Alpha 1 was supposed to be server development, the performance, etc, 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 everything the core concept of the game. And Alpha 2 is the network layer, upgrades, etc, etc, etc. But I believe that they didn't even get so far to do the Alpha 2, and for 10 years, that's a lot of time for this game to stay in early access. I do believe so myself. And from my understanding, they have almost more than 200 employees, 200 to 500 employees maybe. It took too long, I guess, and yeah, that's where we're at right now. Unfortunately, I don't have too much knowledge about what's been happening. I've only seen this affected recently, but it does raise the question though, what will happen to MMORPGs nowadays? I haven't been seeing any good MMORPGs, and coming from a person that has a lot of background in MMORPGs, I played maybe most of MMOs in the time of my gaming age. The first MMO I've ever played was Aeon, and that was one of the best MMOs I've played in my entire life. I've played so many of them. There's been a noticeable drop in quality when it comes to MMOs these days. Aeon was such a game. Had such a community, forums, and everything, and it made me meet the people that I've known for more than 10 years now. And it was one of the best MMOs I've ever touched, and the PvP there was immaculate. The PvE, the story, everything was going good. And when you talk with other people who have played, like old heads like me that played MMO back in the days, they tell you the same thing, that they met their best friends or their loved ones or their partners or whatever through MMOs, because it was such a community back then. Nowadays, it's all microtransactions, systems here, pop-ups everywhere, this complex and dubious way of making the MMO. And I'm not talking about from someone with has just only played Aeon. I played World of Warcraft, I played Guild Wars 2, I played Final Fantasy 14, I played Black Desert Online, I played Blade and Soul. I tried all these games, and trust me when I say this, the drop in quality is quite noticeable through the upcoming years. So when I first started playing with Aeon, it was this grindy hell of a game that has an insane learning curve. But once you get through this learning curve, once you master your class, you'd be unstoppable. I used to play as a tank Templar in Telemachus server, EU's Telemachus server, and I was one of the best Templars there is. And that's saying something when you talk about Aeon in PvP and PvE. But nowadays, whenever you play an MMO, it's all about the microtransactions. all about the microtransaction, and we have so many MMO that fail because that's the way they go. They treat MMO like they're a mobile game instead of what they are, an MMORPG. I mean, you have games like, well, for one, Ashes of Creations. You have games like Throne of Liberty, New World, Lost Ark, and maybe Riot MMO, and all these. I would even Blade and Soul Neo, that one that was released in, like, I don't know, last year, I think, is just not the same feeling as these old age MMOs. Even World of Warcraft started to decline in quality, and Final Fantasy 14 as well. That made me just quit these games. I still have a love for MMORPGs. Hell, I have over 1,000 hours in Final Fantasy 14, and I haven't touched this game for a year, and even more, because the quality just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. These companies now focus more on microtransactions, on pay to win, on dropping quality, dropping everything, and like Blade and Soul has this. Not Blade and Soul, sorry. Black Desert Online has this system that is just so disgusting. You have so many things to do. Like, you'll get overwhelmed with the amount of clutter and trash you get on your UI and your system in front of you. And so the Throne and Liberty did the same thing. That's why I didn't touch these games. Like, I played them to a certain extent, and I just got bored of them. There's so many UI system annoyance. Also, like, even if the gameplay is quite good, you still lose on there. Like, unfortunately, the only people that are pretty good at making gameplay is NCSoft, and NCSoft is now a cash grabbing pile of shit. Honestly, like, there's nothing else I could say. They know how to make an MMORPG. They have the talent, they have the expertise, but they're so goddamn greedy that they make the game pay to win and not as grind. Like, I wouldn't mind the game being a grind, but at least let me grind and stop putting everything behind a paywall. And I honestly don't think we're gonna see anything good anymore within the MMORPG. I think this genre is slowly and surely dying because we're losing the companies that would make a good MMORPGs. We're losing them. There's nothing. There's no companies out there that can make them work as well as they do, as they did back in the day. Like, Aeon was made by NCSoft, Guild Wars, but was made by ArenaNet. NCSoft also made Blade and Soul, which I am so mad about Blade and Soul Neo because of the way they changed it. NCSoft just became this power-hungry company that just doesn't care about gamers anymore, and that's the thing. And the West really don't know how to make MMORPGs. I do believe that this genre is just dying out, which is unfortunate. And it's not a thing about audience, it's not the gamers at all. It's just the way these MMORPGs are being made in practice to basically exploit every single money or dime out of the player. And it has these 3,000 different currencies in the game that so you could spend on. It's quite unfortunate, honestly. It's quite unfortunate. Well, let me know what you guys think about MMORPGs. Do you believe that there might be a chance? Is there any MMORPGs you've been playing so far and are actually enjoying it? Or, you're just tired of this this genre, and hope it dies out? Let me know down in the comment below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. See you next time. Ciao for now. Bye bye.